What is going on, people? The name's Agenda, and welcome to my second Final Forces discussions episode. Still, we are on the Assault Rifles class, and we will go to the AN-94 Assault Rifle. To be honest, I seriously hated this assault rifle when I was new to this game, and I didn't even know that this weapon is overpowered after all. In this episode, we'll be discussing its pros and cons, as well as its unique features. The AN-94 is said to be the new breed of the AK family. However, it is not actually related to the AK patterns. The AN-94 actually means Automat Nikonova model of 1994. This modern assault rifle was designed by Gennady Nikonov during the 1980s and was produced starting 1994. It's actually supposed to be a replacement of the AK-74 rifle, but unfortunately, the AK-74 is still commonly used instead of the AN-94. It also has been impractical due to its complexity in design, which is another reason why the AK-74 is still a good issue weapon for the Russian military. In the game's rank of forces, the AN-94 is the second assault rifle to unlock at rank 10. In some people's first impressions, this gun is said to be terrible, but as soon as you get used to it soon enough, it begins to become a force to be reckoned with. Going first with the one that makes it the most interest, which is damage. It will deal 32 hit points of damage at close range, and will decrease down to 24 at longer distances. To start, the AN-94 has a lower maximum damage than that of the AK-12, but don't worry, because it has an astounding minimum damage of 24, making the overall damage drop less than average assault rifles. But still, it will have the average shot kill at 4-5, depending on the range. 4-shot kill limit is approximately 115 studs, which makes it more reliable towards long ranges. It's even a bit longer than the AK-12's 4-shot kill limit of 100 studs. Using suppressors are very efficient, since its minimum damage of 24 would just be decreased to an average minimum damage of 22, but it would decrease the gun's range. AN-94's range drop is a bit weaker than the AK-12, but they do have the same maximum range. It'll deal a damage of 32 hit points until 50 studs, and continues to drop down to 24 hit points at the range of 120 studs. I could say that the AN-94's minimum range is one of the most positive attributes that this weapon has. Headshot multiplier is of course 1.4x, meaning that the AN-94 would be even more efficient when hitting headshots. This means that it'll buff up the standard damage of 32.24 to 44.8, 33.6. Sadly, the headshot skill is just the same as the AK-12, with just 3 to 4 headshots to kill, but it is worth it to get a single headshot. Unlike the AK-12, the AN-94 has only 2 fire modes. The fire modes are burst fire and automatic fire. Burst fire is selected by default, by which the gun would shoot 2 rounds of rapid burst fire, while automatic allows you to, of course, shoot in automatic firing. By far, this is the only assault rifle that does not feature a semi-auto function. However, if you're pulling the trigger automatic, firing comes with the first 2 rounds of each burst, and then the later rounds will be fully set in fully automatic at a slower fire rate, much like the AN-94 from Black Ops 2. It has the highest and lowest rates of fire in the assault rifle category. Burst fire has a rate of fire of 1,800 rounds per minute, or RPM. This actually has the highest rate of fire of all guns in Final Forces, more than the Tech 9 and the M231. However, using burst fire has a burst delay, meaning that there's some sort of a very short delay between bursts. This burst delay is somehow also present in the M93R, but for me, it's kind of difficult to get used to its burst fire, especially during close quarters combat. For its automatic fire, it is awfully slow, 600 rounds per minute. This is actually the same as the AK-47, AKM, the MP-45, M60, and the RPK. However, like me, I find automatic fire very useful towards average players. Using automatic fire would have no burst delay for each 2-round bursts, so tapping your firing button constantly will allow you to spam burst fire to inflict damage with a very high rate of fire. Focusing about the very rapid burst fire and the slow automatic fire, the AN-94 has a very fast time to kill, but using automatic fire actually slows it down. Unfortunately, quickly repeated burst fire loses its efficiency at very long ranges, so it can spam its burst fire for a faster time to kill at close quarters. But focused burst fire quickly speeds up your time to kill at longer ranges. Recoil is very good, but its burst fire actually has a bit more recoil than automatic fire. Out of the 2 rounds of the burst, the second one is the one that has the most recoil kick for the AN-94, while the first round has almost no recoil. Because of this, spraying the burst fire is a bit risky, since its second round has more recoil even though it is actually good to use suppressors in this gun. However, using automatic firing has a very low recoil kick, and it has the tightest, yet a very weird recoil pattern for all assault rifles. But most noticed during are using high zoom optics, the AN-94 has a high camera recoil or view kick, meaning that the folding grip would work efficiently as well. Apparently, the only thing that is annoying is the second round of the burst, but to decrease overall recoil kick, use muzzle brake. Accuracy is extremely good even at longer ranges, and even with a suppressor that actually reduces stability and accuracy. Even though the recoil of the second round is high, the AN-94's burst fire can be so accurate, and using automatic fire can make things even more accurate because of a more concentrated firing. It is because that one burst allows you to have a very tight volley of 2 rounds. Its bullet drop rate is actually the average for all assault rifles, but because of how accurate this gun is, it can be a fast firing laser. Hip fire accuracy is very good even without attachments, but the thing that makes hip firing not very good is actually its firing pattern because of the burst fire recoil and automatic recoil pattern. Because with these attributes, hip firing would not be that difficult for starters, but for me, I actually needed to master hip firing for a while back then. Being honest, iron sights for the AN-94 are bad because despite of its better sight magnification, it actually blocks most of your field of view, allowing you not to be focused on multiple targets for multiple kills. But hip fire works as well, allowing you to unlock better optics than iron sights. Z-point is kinda nice, but due to the muzzle flash, it hinders its effectiveness, allowing you to choose other optics like the Attack XPS2 or resort to suppressors. Ammo size is 30 or 31 per clip depending on when you reload it, and its ammo size is 120. One of its downsides is actually its cartridge as well. Cartridge is 5.56 by 39mm, same as the AK-12, AK-74, and the RPK-74. This means that you are very limited towards ammunition, and you can pick up AN-94 ammo from all assault rifles and the RPK and RPK-74 LMGs. If you would be spamming the burst fire, your ammo quickly drains down, so be careful and accurate about using burst fire and sometimes using automatic fire. Reload speed is average for all AK and AK related rifles and LMGs. It's at 2.5 seconds during normal reload and 3.2 seconds during anti-reload. I do not even feel that you will be reloading often, but make sure that you are hitting targets well to conserve ammo since there is no semi-automatic firing. Bullet piercing, suppression rate, and muzzle noise is average for an assault rifle, but perhaps its aim downside delay is a bit shorter than the AK-12 and other assault rifles, making it more reliable in surprise attacks. Also, its muzzle sound is the same as the FAMAS. The AN-94 is one of the best assault rifles in Phantom Forces, only when used correctly. Regardless of its recoil, it can be the most accurate assault rifle in the game, because its burst fire shoots like a laser. I actually recommended people in using it because it is very efficient at most ranges, making it also possible for competitive use. For the setup, I would recommend using any short or medium range optic, and I would prefer Cobra sight the most because it does not show muzzle flash onto the sight and is a very nice optic for most ranges. For the underbarrel, I would recommend the angle grip because it balances hip fire and aiming recoil, but stubby grip is okay for more accurate firing, and also, holding grip will work as well because it reduces camera recoil. Barrel can be either compensator or muzzle brake, but muzzle brake works better because it reduces vertical recoil. And last, for the accessory, green laser because it increases hip fire stability and a bit of aiming accuracy. For a suppressed loadout, I would recommend a short-range optic like a Coyote sight or even a Cobra sight as the optic attachment, angled, stubby, or even a folding for the underbarrel, ARS suppressor for a barrel, and green laser for the accessory. It is actually okay to use the suppressed loadout, although it can decrease its effectiveness at longer ranges. If you want to use the AN-94 efficiently, you can spam its burst fire at close range encounters for an even faster time of kill. And also, you can be very accurate at long range by using the burst fire wisely. But if you are not experienced with burst fire, you can use automatic fire first as well. I think automatic fire as a training to use wisely the AN-94, since I thought first that it's terrible because it is a weird burst fire assault rifle. That is all for my review for the AN-94 assault rifle. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and or learned something from my video. If you do, it's your choice to like, favorite, or subscribe. This is Legenda, and peace.